Right now, someone is living in your head rent-free, and they are absolutely trashing the place. Think about that person who did you wrong, that situation that still makes your blood boil, or that betrayal that keeps you up at 3 a.m. playing back imaginary arguments. You think your anger is a shield, or maybe a weapon pointed at them. But here is the cold, hard truth. Your grudge isn't hurting them. It's empowering them. Every ounce of resentment you carry is a direct transfer of your personal energy into their hands. You are literally paying a silent tax on your own happiness to fund a war that the other person probably isn't even fighting anymore. While you're losing sleep, they're sleeping fine. While you're rehearsing your revenge speech, they're out living their life. By holding on to that anger, you aren't seeking justice. You are handing them the remote control to your emotional state. You have to realize that your grudge is actually their greatest power over you. This is the hidden cost of getting even. We are raised on stories of cinematic revenge, where the hero finally strikes back and finds peace. But in the real world, revenge is a tether. It is a form of emotional bondage that locks you in a room with your worst memories. Every time you check their social media, every time you bring their name up in conversation, and every time you dwell on how they need to pay, you are tightening the knot. You've convinced yourself that staying angry keeps you safe or makes you strong, but it's actually doing the opposite. It's draining your internal battery. Imagine your mental energy as a bank account, a personal success fund intended to build your dream life, your career, and your relationships. Every minute you spend obsessing over a past wrong is a massive withdrawal from that fund. You are bankrupting your future to pay for a past you can't change. We need to talk about why it feels so hard to let go, especially in a culture that prizes standing your ground. There is a massive weakness fallacy surrounding the idea of forgiveness. We've been conditioned to think that if we stop being angry, we're letting them win, or saying that what they did was okay. We think forgiveness is a sign of surrender, a white flag waved by someone too soft to fight back. But that's a total lie. Staying angry is easy. Any child can hold a grudge. Real power, what I call the ultimate alpha move, is the ability to completely reclaim your headspace. It's the realization that you are too valuable, your time is too precious, and your future is too bright to spend another second acting as a backup character in their drama. Choosing to move on isn't about being nice to them. It's about being incredibly selfish with your own peace. It's about deciding that they no longer deserve even a fraction of your attention. When we look at this through the lens of karma, people usually get it wrong. They think karma is a cosmic hitman that's going to strike their enemies down for them. But the real karma of revenge is much more personal. Karma is simply the cycle of action and reaction. As long as you are seeking revenge, you are staying inside their vibration. You are keeping yourself stuck in the mud they created. If you want to see them get theirs, you have to understand that your participation in the drama is actually what keeps the cycle alive. By detaching, you aren't just letting them go. You are exiting the crime scene so your own positive trajectory can finally take off. You can't fly if you're holding on to the weights that someone else put in your pockets. It's time to stop looking for an apology you'll never get and start looking at the exit door. You aren't forgiving them to save them. You are forgiving them to stop the leak in your own soul. This is where the shift happens, from victimhood to total, absolute sovereignty. To truly break this cycle, we have to dismantle the biggest lie you've been told, that forgiveness requires you to love the person who hurt you. In the real world, and especially in the high-stakes environment of our modern lives, asking someone to feel loving kindness toward an abuser or a backstabber feels dishonest. It feels like a defeat. That's why we are pivoting to a much more powerful state: absolute indifference. Indifference is the true opposite of love, not hate. Hate is loud. Hate is high energy. Hate is an obsession. When you hate someone, you are still obsessed with them. But when you are indifferent, they simply cease to matter. They become background noise, like a static-filled radio station you finally tuned out. This is the Detachment Protocol. It starts by acknowledging that your anger is a secondary emotion. It's a smoke screen for the pain or the boundary violation you experienced. To detach, you must first stop the bleeding. This means a total information blackout. You cannot heal from a wound you keep picking at. If you are still checking their LinkedIn, scrolling their Instagram, or asking mutual friends how they're doing, you are effectively re-poisoning yourself every single day. The first step in this protocol is the audit of attention. Look at your day and identify every moment your mind wanders back to that person. Is it when you're driving? Is it right before you go to sleep? Once you identify the triggers, you have to replace the revenge fantasy with a growth reality. Every time their face pops into your head, you immediately pivot to a thought about your own goals, your next workout, your next promotion, or a trip you're planning. You are training your brain to recognize that their image is a signal to focus on yourself. You are literally rewiring your neural pathways to prioritize your own empire over their drama. This isn't about being the bigger person for the sake of morality. It's about being the smarter person for the sake of your own mental real estate. In the US, we value results. And the result of indifference is a clear head, better sleep, and the ability to spot new opportunities that you were previously too blinded by rage to see. You are reclaiming the processor speed of your brain that was being used to run the revenge.exe program in the background. This leads us into the karma of motion. Most people wait for karma to hit their enemy before they feel they can move on. They want to see the villain suffer. But if you are waiting for their downfall to feel happy, your happiness is still dependent on them. You are still their prisoner, just waiting for the warden to trip. The highest form of karma is when you become so successful, so at peace, and so fulfilled that the person who hurt you becomes an insignificant footnote in your biography. Imagine your life is a 500-page book. Are you really going to let a villain from chapter 3 ruin the ending? The karma of letting go is the realization that by moving forward, you are moving into a frequency they can no longer reach. You are vibrating at a level of achievement and self-worth that acts as a natural barrier to their toxicity. They didn't just lose you. They lost access to the you that was willing to engage with them. Think of your energy as a high performance. engine. Resentment is like pouring sugar into the gas tank. It might sit there quietly for a bit, but eventually it's going to stall your progress. It's going to make you cynical in new relationships and hesitant in new business ventures. You'll start seeing the ghost of your enemy in the faces of people who have done nothing wrong. That is how they win long term, by turning you into a version of yourself that is guarded, bitter, and stagnant. Detachment is the act of flushing that system clean. It's a cold, calculated decision to stop being a victim of circumstance and start being an architect of future. You don't need an apology to be whole. An apology is just words, and usually the people who hurt you aren't capable of giving a sincere one anyway. To wait for it is to give them the keys to your cage. Throw the keys away. The door isn't even locked. You've just been holding the handle shut from the inside. The final shift in this psychological warfare is realizing that living well isn't just a catchy phrase. It is the only functional revenge that exists. In the US, we value the comeback story more than almost anything else. But a true comeback isn't about showing them how much better you're doing. It's about reaching a point where you don't even care if they're watching. When you are truly thriving, you aren't posting on social media to trigger their jealousy. You're posting because you're actually enjoying your life. The moment you stop using your success as a weapon to hurt them and start using it as a fuel to build yourself, you have officially won. This is the indifference threshold. It's that beautiful, quiet moment when you hear their name and you feel nothing. No spike in heart rate, no tightening in your chest, just a blank space where a wound used to be. That is the ultimate alpha reclamation of your soul. Visualize your life as a high-end piece of real estate. Every grudge you hold is a squatter living in $1 million mansion, trashing the floors and breaking the windows. You wouldn't let a stranger do that to your physical home. So why are you letting an enemy do it to your mental one? Forgiveness is the eviction notice. It's you changing the locks and realizing that the person who hurt you doesn't even have the clearance to enter your new life. You are moving into a future that they are fundamentally excluded from. This isn't a gift. You are giving to them. It is a gift of liberation you are giving to your future self. Every second you spend in resentment is a second you've stolen from the person. You are meant to become. Stop waiting for a sorry that will never come from a person who isn't capable of giving it. Karma is already handling the logistics of their life. Your only job is to handle the logistics of your joy. Close the door, turn the key, and walk away. The greatest power move you will ever make isn't defeating them, it's outgrowing them, so completely that you don't even remember why you were fighting in the first place. You are free. Now go build something that makes the past look like a tiny, insignificant speck in your rearview mirror.